what's up with these cats. No idea what's up with these cats. They're just on off the rails today. Every minute. Station. What these cats are doing, man. All right, let's make sure everything's good. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell for more of these videos and all that stuff. Also, make sure you check out some of the links that are down below. Any of the links that are for Patreon, BTCC, any of those platforms. I appreciate you guys for everything that you do. Jeez, these cats, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, we got 66 people that are here. I'm gonna start a poll. Dude. Yeah, so um, things are looking pretty solid in the crypto market here today. I guess I should probably give you a little bit of update as people are coming in, getting settled, and we'll go through comments and all that stuff in a little bit. But I do appreciate you guys for joining me today. Thank you, everybody that's here today. Again, make sure you hit the like button. But the current crypto market is sort of flat right now, right? We're seeing it at a $3.27 trillion market cap. Bitcoin dominance is back up almost to 64%. So we're obviously not seeing altcoin season as we see any type of glimpse or, light at the end of the tunnel here when we're all hoping for altcoin season to happen. It just kind of shuts the door on us, and we don't end up seeing altcoin season that truly starts to transpire. But we're on our way, right? Many people are just like, you know what? I'm done with waiting for it. I don't believe altcoin season is going to happen. So I'm just not going to be in cryptocurrency anymore. And I totally understand where you're coming from, right? If you're tired of waiting, then you're just tired of waiting. Bitcoin has already run a crazy amount. You've seen XRP run, you've seen Jasmine Coin make moves, you've seen other things that have made moves, whether they're up, 100 or 200 or even 500%. They're just not up the levels that we expect to see in a true altcoin season. When altcoins do break out, it's going to be massive, right? But it's just how long can people wait? But Bitcoin's sitting at $104,000. It's slightly down during the day. 0.5%. Hopefully, you can see that things start to kind of turn around a little bit. Ethereum is slightly up, 0.64%, $2,529 for Ethereum. XRP is at $2.14. I want to see that continue, or not continue, but just see it rise, because obviously it's fallen a little bit in the past 7 days. It's down by 7%. So I don't want to see it continue to fall. I want to see it just rise steadily, get back up to some of these levels, and obviously I want to see it absolutely break out like it should. BNB is slightly up as well, $92 billion market cap. Solana at a 79 or 80 billion dollar market cap, slightly down during the day. So you can see all the movement, not really crazy, not crazy breakouts, not crazy falls. With the exception of some things, right? You have XMR that's up by 11%. With the exception of some in the top 100, you're seeing them break out, or even some meme coins and new coins and all that stuff. You're seeing them break out a little bit. Fear and greed index, we're seeing it start to kind of drift down a little bit. It's at 57, kind of neutral, but more towards the greed side of things. So people may be getting, maybe doing, a little bit more selling as we see it start to kind of pull back a little bit. Altcoin season, again, we're at 22 out of 100, which means we are still solidly in Bitcoin season. So hopefully we see that kind of turn around, but things are not looking great for that. But I just want to see altcoins thrive. That's just like everybody else. That's all we want to see. But how's everybody doing today? Let's go ahead and jump into the comment section. Good morning, Matthew. Good morning to you too. Good morning, Matthew. What's up? Good morning. Good morning, Swamp Donkey Crypto. Thank you for being here. Good morning, S. Potter. Do you think it's too late to jump in on the XRP wagon? No, I don't think it's too late. I just think you kind of have a little bit more. Well, right now it's way better than where it was at $3.40. So I wouldn't say you have the worst of it, because what people do is you have certain people that invest in certain levels, right? So as you see that staggered movement, as you see it grow, it skyrockets up. There are people that invested all the way up to that point in order to get it to $3.40. There are people that invested at $3.39, right? And them investing at $3.39 may not seem like the best thing in the world. However, in the grand scheme of things, they could still make a lot of money, and they also have an opportunity to average down or average into it. Now, whether they take that opportunity, that's on them, but there are people that invest everywhere. Thank you for the super chat. Well, thank you for that. I still love CRO, but obviously with the addition of coins, it kind of messed me all up. Um, but yeah, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate it. I'll address CRO at some point here today. We'll talk about it and where I stand with it and where it stands and everything. So anyways, with investing in XRP, there are multiple levels, right? People buy at these bottoms, right, where it's maybe $2, and then you see it skyrocket up to 340, and it's like, you have so much room above it. If you are currently sitting at a price to where there is room above it that it hit before, then you're at a good price. You're not at the best price possible, because the best price would have been 30 or 40, or the lowest price that you could possibly get. But sometimes those prices are over and you'll never see those again. Sometimes, not all the time. But when you invest at a price that's lower than what the all-time high is, or lower than what the high points are, you're making a decent investment. It's just you have to give it its time to mature, right? So it's not a bad time to invest, but you are going to have maybe a little bit of a longer wait period, to see things thrive, compared to like someone like me, right? I invested at 50 cents. So no matter what, I'm seeing positivity. It may fluctuate. I'm seeing that positivity throughout. Other people invested even earlier, and they're seeing that positivity, and they don't have to worry about ever getting back to their price. 17 cents, they don't ever have to worry about getting back to that price. So it's just how you take it and what's your overall strategy. That's going to tell you whether it's a good play. If you're looking to sell tomorrow, then no, it's not absolutely the best play in the world, depending on what we're going to see tomorrow. But yeah, I would say it's a little bit more longer term. Let's see. Another hyper to hype his XRP cause. He holds a lot of it. I do hold a decent amount of it. I've documented how much I hold, quite a bit. Obviously, some people get upset with me mentioning how much I hold, and they think it's that I'm flexing. I'm not. I'm just, talking about how much I hold, where I bought at, what my cost basis is, all of that stuff. But yeah, I do hold XRP. I don't have any type of major influence on something that's worth $130 billion. So don't think that me talking about it means that XRP is going to pump. That's not the case. Maybe if something was worth $10,000 market cap, then yeah. But if something's worth $130 billion, I have no type of influence, no type of movement on that play. Good morning, Matt. Good morning. Me patiently waiting for Jasmy's all-time high to return. So am I. I have a couple of trades, or one trade short-term, one trade long-term that's a 2x or 3x leverage that I hope to see some major movement in. And then I obviously have my 1 million Jasmy coin that I'm hoping to see, play out well. Top of the morning to you from California. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. XRP tokenizing everything. Big debate in the Senate today. Clarity Act pass makes XRP a commodity like gold. I feel like no matter what, you still have the clarity that XRP is not a security, but having that next piece to it. What is this cat doing? You're just gonna knock things over. Just stop doing it. It's weird. But yeah, XRP 1.2, good buy. $1.20, that's a good buy. I mean, yeah, that's good. I think no matter what, right now it's still good. When's XRP going to pump? It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. With any type of major good news that we see with XRP, we do see a little bit of a pump. But I think we need to see altcoin season thrive and XRP be the leader of altcoins. Even though it seems like Ethereum is that, I would consider XRP as that. They're firing Jerome Powell today. T-shirt. What about my T-shirt? The Courage the Cowardly Dog. Gold, silver, strategic treasury reserve, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, Blackwood, White Rock, White Rock, and tons more. Stop. You don't need to be up here. Matt, CRO fam misses you. Well, thank you for saying that. Never too late to jump on XRP. I agree. XRP to Moon. We need a spot ETF approval announcement, bringing in boomer money. Ripple case 100% done with institutional sales clarity and a release of massive NDAs every day for months. Now, I think when it comes to the spot ETF, I think that's big, right? Having any type of ETF is massive for cryptocurrency, but I do still believe that the best case scenario when it comes to ETFs and more people investing into it is seeing that the traditionalists that are wanting to invest in the entire crypto market, you investing specifically into Bitcoin or specifically into Ethereum or specifically into Solana or XRP, is not necessarily investing directly into the market. Yes, it gives them the clarity to or the ability to invest into single cryptocurrencies without having a cryptocurrency account. But it's not necessarily investing into the broader market, which is what a lot of traditionalists like to do, right? You like to invest into ETFs, things that follow the S&P 500. I want to see an ETF that says we're following the CMC, let's just say the CMC 100, right? Coin market cap 100, top 100 cryptocurrencies. That's what we're following. And I think, or Coinbase 100, whatever. And that can be an ETF to actually follow the top 100 cryptocurrencies or top 25 cryptocurrencies or something like that. Letting people invest into the broader market rather than just being invested into Bitcoin and following Bitcoin, because it still singles out each individual position rather than investing into everything. I think that's once we see that, the market will absolutely skyrocket and thrive because we will have consistency. We have people that are investing into there, not just for the rise of Bitcoin and then sell it. They're investing into the rise of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or whatever, right? You're investing into those and seeing the markets or seeing those ETFs move consistently. And then it makes the market move more consistently. So that's what we want to see. But yeah, I think all that stuff will provide a ton of growth for XRP. But ultimately, I want to see a cryptocurrency, an overall cryptocurrency ETF. And once we see that, yeah, I'm excited to invest into that. I will invest into that and hold on to that forever and consistently invest into it. XRP promised prices not materialized generally. CBEC network. ZBCN, Hidden Gem. I've heard people invest into that. Are you investing in this? No, I'm not. Hey, Matt, I'm not making any, just to let you guys know, if there's any positions that are out there that look like they have potential or anything, I'm not investing into any new positions. I'm done buying long-term cryptocurrencies on Coinbase and many other platforms. I still have my 100K challenge that I consistently buy and sell positions on that platform itself. And whether I'm leverage trading, having some that are a little bit long term, but most of them are going to be short term and ultra short term. That's my $500 to 100K challenge that I'm going to do. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen within this year or next year. It could happen in 600 days. But the point is that I'm going to try and grow it to that point as quick as I can, but without taking on too much risk on that. So it's not going to be something where I'm like, oh, in a week I'm going to grow it to $100,000. If it does, fantastic. But I don't plan on doing it. Hey Matt, wait, where you at? Where do you see XRP's price at the end of this bull run? All-time high and then bottom. So I'm looking for a high of, and I know there's levels that I can get to above it. I'm looking for, just for me personally, I'm looking for a high of $100. Right? That's where I'm looking for. Come on, guys. You don't need to do that. I'm looking for a high of $100. They're fighting over there. And it doesn't mean that we will specifically hit that this bull run. We can have the potential to do so. It depends on the things that are implemented here, but you still have a lot of things to happen, right? When it comes to ETFs, single ETFs, all-encompassing ETFs, adoption, when it comes to implementation within institutions or institutional, holdings of it, just so many different things that need to happen, and it may take time for approval, for just the standard movement and acceptance, right? It may take time, so it might not be over this bull run, but I'm looking for that high there of $100. Now, more, let's say, I wouldn't say realistic, but lower levels that I have to take profit from, right? A level of $5, $10, right? $20 is kind of that level where I'm like, this is definitely going to hit $20 by the end of this bull run, right? That's where I'm seeing it. But then you can also have more as you see more things that get developed during that time period. And the more time that we go by without altcoin season happening, the more time that we have for all these things to take place, So it could be 25, it could be 30, it could be 50. But I'm looking for that range of anywhere for a top point of anywhere between $20 and $100. Now, when it comes to multiple things that could be implemented there and whether it does within that time frame, again, we could even see more than that, right? And it also depends on the FOMO that happens within it. But know that when you see these massive upticks and these pushes to higher and higher levels, you will see retracements. And those retracements will come as people are holding hundreds of thousands of XRP. But you, right, or other people, right, that have maybe a little bit less than what somebody with 100,000 or 500,000 or a million have. If you decide to hold on to it for longer, you may end up seeing more success in that price range because you're willing to go over, this bull run, the bear market, the next bull run, right? You're willing to go over that and see the progression and see the movement, just like you would with a Bitcoin, right? If you're holding a Bitcoin and it's worth $400 and it goes to $20,000 and you decide to sell all of it, well, now it has a chance to come back down, $2,000, increase back up to $60,000. Now that person, or the next person that decided, they were like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take profit here. Now there's still people that are still holding on to it over 1, 2, 3 bull runs, and then it goes to 100 and 150,000. And everybody's making their money as they decide to sell at those high points and believe just only in that high point. Does that make sense? With me selling some at $5, at $10, at $20, it's leaving room for growth. And obviously, I still will have some left over. I just won't have all of what I had. Hopefully, that makes sense. XRP is old news. ZBCN is a new kid on the block. I mean, that's good. I hope you see some success within it. Any position that anybody's buying, I want to see you guys succeed. I really do. How can y'all say XRP is old news when it hasn't even reached the height of what it can be? I mean, that's just people that really want to see the position that they're investing into succeed more. Or they mention XRP as, that major popular player just to be able to have those keywords to catch attention and draw attention from people that are huge in XRP. Obviously, with you responding to it, it gives that person attention to now have them tell you, hey, this is why this is going to take off. Because now you're opening up the conversation by responding to what they had. But it's okay, right? That's just the nature of the internet. Anytime that they put that out there, if you respond, they now can respond and give you the clarity that you need because you're already arguing, you're already invested into the conversation, so they're going to further that forward. That just happens that way. And that's how you can, I guess, garner growth just by word of mouth. It's just by kind of being negative on one to say this is the future. You know, XRP to $5,000 in less than 5 years' time. I would love to see that. But again, I'm not going to hold as much XRP as I have now if it's worth $5,000. If it's worth $1,000, I won't have that much. So, and it depends on how much you have and what you're willing to accept and, how long you want to hold for, right? If you're getting all of your profits and gains from other things, then you don't necessarily need to hold XRP, or you don't need to sell your XRP at lower levels. You can sell it at higher levels. You can hold on to it for multiple bull runs. But if you like to take profit, and you have an exit plan established, it's okay to do that as well. My XRP exit plan has a high of $24 per XRP this bull run. That's good. Where's your first selling point, Joe? Is your first selling point, at the $24 mark, or is it at, a lower mark, like a $10 mark or a $7 mark or something like that? Thanks, Matt. I appreciate your thoughts. No problem. Do you think BlackRock will jump on XRP when it's being adopted globally? Absolutely. I think everybody will. I'm thinking that you'll see obviously banks implement it in a large way. You'll see the standard flow of cash go that way, but you still will have people that believe in the traditional route for them, right? The traditional route right now is still forms of cash. Even though we're transitioning more towards completely paperless and or cashless environments, like when I go to Hershey Park, it's cashless. You're not giving anybody any cash. They're not taking any cash. You're using cards in every single scenario. And that's the kind of world that we're living in, which it does, take a lot of these traditionalists, the way that they see money and use money out of it because they're carrying around cash that they took out of the bank because they've always been used to doing that. They held their money in a bank. They take out whatever cash they need. They have it in an envelope. They have it in their wallet or whatever, and they use that cash as you move along, right? That's not the way the world's going to be. The traditional side of it is going to be utilizing banks and utilizing your debit card. So many people are going to still do it the same way by utilizing their debit card and credit cards. And then there's going to be the less traditionalist way that you see the flow of cryptocurrency. And whether that comes in just, still using a card that's associated with cryptocurrency transactions or cryptocurrency overall, I don't know exactly how that's going to transpire. But I think that's what's going to be the kind of way that we're looking at, debit cards and credit cards now compared to traditionalist money. It's going to be flipped to where the traditional way of looking at it and what we're used to is utilizing, just a credit card or a debit card versus them utilizing a crypto card or something, right? And that may be a lot faster and may be what they want to accept, but it may take 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Because I remember still within my lifetime of, utilizing cash over, checks and debit cards and credit cards in my lifetime. So it's not saying that it's going to take 50 years for that to happen. It may be 10 or 15 years. And then you see the traditionalist way that we look at it, and go, okay, we're still going to use debit and credit cards, but then younger individuals will be using their crypto balances. I mean, it's just going to be the way that it is. And I'm glad that I'm educating myself now in this and continuing to educate myself, because as I get older, and I turn 50 and I turn 60, and I'm not one of those people that goes, back in my day, we used to use debit cards for everything. Back when I was a kid, we barely used debit cards then. We used cash. We used to walk to school 70 miles uphill both ways. Like, type type of stuff. You know, that's the way that it'll be. Glad to catch you live here. Yeah, I'm glad to be live. Sometimes I struggle with going live, especially on days like this, where the days are not necessarily the most like lucrative. Like you're like, hey, I'm making a ton of money in the markets today. No, you're not, right? It's up by 1%. Bitcoin's down by 0.3%. You're not making anything in the market right now. And also, I've been struggling with my allergies. So, allergies seem clear today. Don't have stuffy nose. I am feeling a little bit itchy in the back of the throat, but it's not as bad as it was 2 days ago. 2 days ago on Saturday, it was just horrible, like really, really bad. But Sunday, luckily, with Harper had her birthday party, and today's her birthday. But luckily, she had her birthday party, and I was able to be clear, and I didn't have any issues with a stuffy nose or anything, and I was happy about that. But yeah, these markets not looking fantastic. I want to go. XRP is going to the moon right now. Like I really want things to happen, especially when I go live. Right, I want things to happen, but it's not happening right now. But any movement is good movement. We can find some success within certain things, as long as we're reading the charts and everything. I insist on selling the top. Wait, I insist on selling the top. So I sell a little bit at $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, and up to $24. If it passes 24, I won't care by then. Don't wait for $100 XRP, folks. Sell a little bit here and there. I think there should always be an exit plan to where you believe in it above, a lot of those prices. Yes, you should have your ultimate exit plan and say, I won't have any by this point. But it depends on what you're looking for out of XRP. For me, I'm looking for those gains, of course, to turn it into what I know as kind of the more traditionalist route, right? Is the actual dollar. So turning my XRP back into dollars makes it feel like it's stable, even though a stable coin will probably be a little bit, I would say a little bit better, but maybe not, because it still just ties back to the dollar, which the dollar value depends on, we're looking at prices of everything else and how far that goes. The dollar stays the same. XRP can rise, so it can be more, deflationary and see the overall position or position run compared to the dollar. But when I'm investing into a lot of these things, I'm looking to get my gains from it, or get my initial investment as well as get my gains, and then also be able to utilize XRP in the long run. Because if I can look at this and say this is going to be valuable in use and people are going to want this, that means that it's kind of like a collectible to me, right? It's kind of like a commodity to me, where I'm like, this can grow in value. This is an appreciating asset, and I don't want to sell this appreciating asset for a depreciating asset, which would be the dollar. So I will have a certain amount earmarked, which I already have it, right? It's over in my Ledger wallet. It's earmarked for that eventual use. And I hope that I can hold that to then fund, let's say, my bank balance, and say my bank balance just from that XRP is worth millions of dollars. And then consistently see that grow just like I would with a gold. Does that make sense? So I won't sell all of it, but I will sell majority of it. So it will be about 90 to 95% that I'm going to sell, with 5% that's sitting on the sidelines and saying, I'm going to utilize this in the long run, or hold this for the long run for the gain in value. But I get what you're saying, right? If you have I want you guys to accept that you can collect your initial investment a little bit earlier. It doesn't have to be with only a 100% gain. It could be a 500 or 1,000% gain or whatever, but you're able to gain a decent amount of what you put in there, just to be able to take that profit, or take a lot of profit in the beginning, and then still leave some and take profit as time goes on, ultimately leaving some there for the eventual use of XRP. But I totally get what you're saying. Whatever your strategy is, I support it. The fact that you even have a strategy is miles ahead of light years ahead of a lot of other people. Um, selling your XRP at $24 is like trading it for a bowl of soup. No way, Jose. I don't think that's the case. $24 per coin is great. When is the rate cuts? I have no idea. I haven't been paying attention to that at all. I should be, but I haven't been. It's been a very busy like 2 weeks for me. Two birthdays in a matter of a kind of a week apart, and trying to be prepared for those and the birthday parties, and whether it's the joint family parties and the trampoline park parties and class parties and all that stuff. It's a lot. And then today, I think we have some other things that we're doing as well. Parents love lying about their childhood. Parents love lying about their childhood. I mean, yeah, to say that your childhood was more difficult than what your child is going through, most likely it was. Um, it was very difficult to kind of get by. And from what I saw, right? It was very difficult for my parents to get by, and um, now it seems like they would take literally anybody and hire anybody in different positions, no matter what the situation is, right? Who you are, where you came from, what your race is, whatever, right? They just hire anybody, kind of anywhere. Um, Not necessarily, but still, like I see many businesses that are like, look, we'll hire welders here. You don't even have to know how to weld. We'll teach you how to weld. It's like we're desperate for people to come in and work. So those type of jobs, you can find many people or many jobs that are like that and actually have a livable wage. Um, but there are some jobs out there that there's some places that are very difficult in taking in employees. I've tried to get into, I'll say it, Penske like a billion times. And for somebody that was as qualified as I am, I would think that they would have an opportunity for me in many of their departments. And I tried so many times. I don't know, it might have been like 3 or 4 times that I tried. And I've had interviews and they said that it was great, but they ended up hiring from within. Now I know the detail from hiring from within. If you hire from within, they end up giving you less of a pay raise than what they would have if they had a new candidate that came in. So it makes sense for them to hire from within, give somebody a 15 or 20% raise versus bringing somebody else in and paying them, a crazy amount. And then what they'll do is continue to move people up. That's just how that goes. So, anyways, we kind of go off into tangents, but yeah, I don't know how that transitioned from childhood to getting a job, but I guess that's how that worked. Is that Courage the dog on your shirt? If yes, that meme coin is going up. I didn't even know they have a Courage meme coin, but I do like Courage the Cowardly Dog. I hated the show as a kid. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime it came on, I was just like, I don't really want to watch this. Like, I want to watch like SpongeBob or something. I don't know. I kind of hated it. So this is just not it. And now I'm like, you know what? I could watch that show. It was pretty good. It's like nostalgic. What are you looking at, lady? Come here. Come here. All right. She's scared. She's a scared cat. You gotta approach her very, very slowly. If you approach her too fast. Here. This one. This one though, which is Spencer. Um, he is not scared. I mean, his ears say otherwise, but he's not scared. He's got a mustache. His name's Spencer. What's up, man? We just got him. 6 months old. And we still have Emmy. I don't know where she's at. But then we have Daisy, who's chunky. Why do you is ghosting XRP right now? In case bent over. I mean, I don't know. I would just say that things tend to get worked out in silence. So even though you feel like there's nothing happening, there's a lot happening behind the scenes. If you think that a company is just standing still, like a company like Ripple is just standing still doing nothing, or BlackRock is doing nothing, or whatever, you're wrong. I've seen so many things that just come out of nowhere, and it's like this is happening, and it's like, wow, we didn't even expect this. It's like, yeah, because they're talking about it behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It's all about changing the mindset, old ways of doing things. Yeah, I agree. Samson, if I bought something for 19 cents and I wanted to sell it for $3 to buy commercial equipment, I need I know that will create cash income. I will do so. You don't know what I hold, and I know what to do. Very true. You are fully capable of doing whatever it is that you feel is going to work for you. And $24 is not buying or not like trading it for a bowl of soup. Not even close. But what I will say is that there's always opportunities above these prices that we see, right? A lot of people thought Bitcoin was limited at $70,000. There were a ton of people that were like $100,000 is the limit. When it does hit that, it's going to tank back down to 15,000. I was just like, where are you seeing these projections from? Like, why are you saying that that's going to be the case? So it hit 111, almost $112,000, and now where's that comment? Where are those people? They're not there, right? So we've seen it. Be careful about trading meme coins first. Ledger. A lot of people out here looking to steal your XRP. I agree. I agree. I don't do anything. I literally just take my forever cryptocurrencies, the ones that I see the most potential in the long term, right? And take a portion of that, maybe it's 10%, and I throw it over on my Ledger wallet, and I'm not looking for anything else. I'm not looking for any meme coins. If you hold, no offense to anybody that does, if you hold a meme coin on Ledger wallets or any meme coins that you expect to be worth a crazy amount in the long term, I highly suggest that you look at that again and you look at it and say, this is a meme coin. Meme coins are definitely short-term plays. So play them as short-term plays. They may still gain you a lot. Yo, cat, what are you doing? Get away from the hole. There's a hole down there. I don't know, sub pump or something. And he's trying to stick his head through it, but I have it blocked off. But this cat is strong. See, he's too strong. No, we can't do that. Get out of here. Let's go. Have it blocked off, and he's just trying to push it out of the way. I don't know what this guy's problem is. But cats are just curious about things. Um, we gotta talk about XRP. Count on it dropping. And when nobody talks about it, it will grow. Yeah, I mean, maybe not. I would say that that's not necessarily true. But um, trying to think of scenarios where it did grow, and if people were talking about it, and I could say that things were happening as they were growing quite a bit. Um, but yeah, if someone's preaching that, oh, this is going to an absolute $1 million, doesn't mean it's going to $1 million today, right? If someone says that XRP or Bitcoin's going to $1 million per coin, it doesn't mean that'll be there in the next day or week or month or year, right? It could take multiple years. It could take a decade, right? But the point is that they believe it's going to go there. So when I say XRP is going to be worth multiple trillions, right? I do think that'll be worth trillions short term, but the level of hitting like 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion. It could be this year, it could be next year, it could be next bull run, but it's going to happen. It's better the email than I'm expecting. It's not the email that I'm expecting. It's BS. I heard XRP will move around August from another YouTuber after it. Okay, yeah, so the way that I looked at it was after tax season we would see some major uptick, and we did see a major uptick for Bitcoin. I expected to see altcoin season thrive, but it looks like Bitcoin holders and believers are still coming in. But when we have that transition to where less Bitcoin believers and holders are out there and people are trying to move that money into altcoins, that's where we'll see altcoin season really take off. And obviously XRP is going to be kind of the leader of those altcoins. Let me come here. Ugh, it's a heavy dog. It's a heavy dog. There you go. Matt, as fun as it is to say, it is confirmed, and it will be worth trillions. You've had so many predictions that have fallen flat. The fact is, you or anyone else has not confirmed anything. So no, it's not. It's only confirmed by me. It's not confirmed by anybody else, right? These are trigger words that you have for YouTube to talk about this. But yeah, you're right in a sense. I would say there's a lot of things that I've been right about because obviously my account shows for it. So to say that I've been wrong on many different predictions, predictions for me, I don't ever have a timeline, right? I talk about my predictions as in I'm going to see XRP hit these levels. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen next month or next year. I talk about them with less of a timeline and more of an expectation on the overall amount, because the reason is I don't expect to see her yawning. I don't expect to sell my cryptocurrency today. I don't necessarily need to sell my cryptocurrency today. And I don't expect that anyone should look at things as just super short term, unless there are meme coins that are there. But yeah, there are many things, predictions that haven't hit yet. There are a lot of things that we've seen happen that have happened and or that I have talked about, right? Whether you're talking about GME and how much that has grown in price, right? I ended up making a good $25,000 to $30,000 from that. We talk about XRP and the movement from 50 cents up to $3.40. Of course, right? I'm talking about getting to $2 and $3 and pushing its way to $5 and people gaining 200, 300, 400%. Jasmy coin and how that has run from a level of 40% of a penny up to 6 cents, giving people literally more than a 10x on what they've invested into, right? Whether I'm talking about the market falling just last week and seeing the market fall from a level of 112,000 or BTC fall from 112,000 down to 104, $103,000, meaning that I was able to gain a decent amount of profit. And many people also reached out to me and said, look, I took a short position on what you were doing and it paid out, right? They made thousands of dollars from it, multiple people. So yes, you have predictions that are on here that don't really go everybody's way. And if you decide to make a move on it, it doesn't mean that you're going to think the same way that I do. If you think the same way that I do, then you may have had success, because I did have some major success within this time frame. And looking from low levels of an $800 billion market cap for the entire market, seeing BTC down to 15,000, 16, 17,000, and seeing it get up to $112,000, seeing XRP break up to way higher levels. And we've seen Solana go from a level of $11 where I talked about it at the low and a lot of people were giving up on it. And I said that it will be worth $200 again, no matter how much positions that they're adding, right? It got up to $240, $250 per coin from $11. We're talking about multiple X's, 10X, 20X on your Solana investment. There are many positions that I talk about that have so much success. It's just people harp on the ones that will say like that are more long-term based, where it's like XRP could potentially hit $1,000 per coin. I'm not giving you any timeline. I'm saying they have the opportunity to do so, but it doesn't mean that it did or will right now. This is why my exit plan is set at $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. It's not set at $1,000, right? I have some that's earmarked for that, but the majority of it is set well before that. You know, CRO will see massive influx of investors and all of that. But you know, I appreciate your comment, but you know, I've had a lot of things that have worked out to be majorly positive because my account shows for it. So yeah, your strategy sounds sensible, unlike the usual "trust me, bro" strategy adopted by many majority of idiots. Yeah. Eh. Uh, you should stop following this guy. He doesn't know anything. Ask him about his career. Ask him about his career? My career? He has no career in finance or anything related to it. Okay, I guess maybe I should just tell you that I have, you know, degrees that are right behind me. I have a master's degree in business administration. I have two bachelor's degrees that I dual majored in. One in accounting with a concentration, or sorry, in business and a concentration in finance, and an accounting degree that I dual majored in. As well as obviously starting out with my associate's degree from Thaddeus Stevens. So yeah, I worked as a senior accountant, I worked as a junior accountant, I worked as a senior financial analyst, I worked as many different positions for many of years, and noticed that I've been able to have success in the markets. Overall, have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even close to millions of dollars from markets or market related products. But yeah, that's clear as day. A lot of people like to make up things and believe that someone doesn't have a bunch of success. Do you want to get down because you see the cats, or do you want to stay up here? A lot of people believe that they know who I am or where I've come from or what I've had to go through throughout my life in order for me to, you know, get to where I am today. And it's been a struggle. It's been a lot of people. Luckily, I've had the support of my wife and the support of my brothers that have given me the ability to do what I can do today. Um, but I can choose the thing about YouTube here. There's many YouTubers that are on here that have to continue to make videos in order to live their life. I make so much money from my money working for me that I physically do not have to be on here. I do not have to come on here and make videos or live stream or do any of that anymore because I've been able to build a portfolio that pays me for holding money with certain positions, right? Um, my my record speaks for itself. Like I'm investing into things that have made a decent amount of money. Yes, there's a lot of things that right now I'm holding that are still negative, but it doesn't mean that they will be negative when it's all said and done, right? I know how to hold investments. I know where to hold investments to. I know how to do short term or make short term plays, ultra short term plays, long term plays, retirement plays. I know how to invest money for children. I know how to invest money for myself. I know how to invest money for just businesses, all of that, right? And for people to come on here and hate, I mean, it's fine. You can do whatever you want, but that's not gonna it's not gonna hurt me. Um, I need that 3,000 from Trump. You clean it up. Oh shit, you ain't. Wait, you clean it up. A lot of you ain't you. I guess I don't know what you're talking about. Curiosity killed the cat, but cat doesn't have 9 lives, right? I guess so. What are you doing? Can you not mess with things before you pull out my microphone cord and then I can't? People can't hear me. Now, what do you think about Lunic? Do you think we'll have a good evolution? Go ahead, go. If you want to get down, get down. Hair all over me, anyways. Um, What do you think about? Do you think it will have a good evolution, meaning reaching $1 in some years? So the Terra Luna Classic getting to $1. There is still so much potential for that to happen. The issue that we deal with with Terra Luna Classic is the fact that the community is not together on what needs to be done. Whether they want the community to stay the same, so certain people that are creating can make the same amount of money, whether you're a validator, or whether you're a creator or a D app, right? Unless you have some sort of business behind that. If the community came together in the beginning and believed that burning was the way, and we saw that a decrease in the supply was definitely the way, 100% that would have been easy to do. We could have had exchanges that were on board because the entire community is on board. However, showing that the community is split, believing that we decrease the supply or believing that we focus on utility. Now, I think it's something that both need to be had, both need to happen. But utility right now, even with a higher supply, utility throughout the last years made no sense to kind of make it a new normal or a new vision to where Terra Luna Classic is going, rather than trying to get it back to what it once was. That was the agreement from the beginning, is to get it back to where it once was. Decrease the supply, re-enable the algorithm, repeg USTC. All of those things were true. But when it came to the community being like, oh, we should care about burns, it's like, no, we should care about the utility. And it's like, but the utility doesn't exist without getting it back to where it was. Well, we can build this new thing, and this could be the new Terra Luna Classic. What does that mean? What do you do with that, right? And the answer to that is nothing, because you don't have the same DApps that are looking to create the same way, that are looking to build the same way and develop the same way, because it's not what it once was. Now you have to develop something new and kind of pitch to new people and see what the new normal could be, which is much more work, so much more work than what it would be if we just decrease the supply. We had so much volume, people that are looking to buy into it and hold into it. You had exchanges that we could have implemented a 1%, 2%, whatever tax on it, on the movement of money, which still would give you 99 to 98% of what your position actually is and what the gains actually are. But the movement itself would be what's decreasing the overall supply. It's a no-brainer. It would have been very easy, but they made it extremely difficult by not believing in what the vision could be. CZ saw it. CZ started this where he was burning for Binance. He's been burning ever since. So the fact that they can still do it and believe in it and wait for us to kind of get on board, and it's going to take us this long for us to get on board, it shows that we could have had so much success. We could have seen Terra Luna Classic back down to $1 billion or less than $1 billion, 1 billion coins in supply. And we could have seen all of our millions that we had, multiple millions, tens of millions of dollars, be realized. I could have had $55 million from Terra Luna Classic and the movement there. But now I'm willing to see a split, because if we see a split within it, I could essentially, yes, I'll decrease in my overall supply, and they'll take 100 per one that I give them or whatever, and I end up seeing 550,000 Terra Luna Classic rather than 55 million, and I'm perfectly fine with that. To get us to $1 and get us to the future and be able to get us to USTC being repegged, the algorithm back in place, and not only getting us to $1, but potentially $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $10, $100 again, no brainer. But everybody else is thinking with their dumb hats on, and that's the reason why we can't get back to where we were. That's what I would say. Right. Getting to $1 still obviously possible. Hopefully we can get to a point where everybody thinks with their actual brains and says, we can burn Terra Luna Classic, let's get the exchanges involved, and they can do it, right? Exchanges are not going to want to do it if we're separated, right? If people are like, no, I don't believe in burns, and other people are like, yeah, if they're just going to vote it down no matter what, and not see the burns from the community because the community wanted to vote a different way because of their loud voices, then the exchanges are not going to vote to have that implemented, right? If we can't agree on that, they're not going to agree on it. Right, so if we don't have a plan to make sure that Terra Luna Classic survives, they're not going to do anything about it. Right? If they look at us and go, okay, they're willing to burn their own Terra Luna Classic. They're willing to give up or sacrifice something in order to see it succeed. It's looked at as a success on their end, so they will do it. But if we're not willing to give up anything and we have 60% of the community that's like, no, I don't want to see burns. I hate burns. All right, well then we'll see whatever success we could see with this supply, because that's all that we can see. That's all that we can manage. So that's the way that I'll look at it for Terra Luna Classic. Bro made 400k over XRP, if not more. Yeah, I did. They need to check your record. Matt, why so many rumors on Jerome Powell retiring today? Because he met with Trump for the first time. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been paying a lot of attention to it, but I'll have to look into it a little bit more, and get myself caught up. But I wouldn't be mad. I feel like Jerome Powell, he hasn't had any type of major impact to crypto besides, like, his talks, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever, his briefings, which have an effect to the stock market as well, just the overall market. I think your predictions are good compared to a volatile crypto market. Thank you. You're doing a great job here, my dear brother. Well, thank you for saying that. You don't know, wait, you don't have to defend or prove yourself. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, it's in damn true. But yeah, I agree with that. I usually stick to just being silent and just going, you know what? I don't care. I don't have to tell anybody what's going on with me or how I've gotten to this point, because if you haven't seen it, you haven't been here. That's usually the case and usually how I respond. But I felt as though I was due for one of those outbursts, so I had to kind of educate people on exactly where I came from. Not even exactly where I came from, just a snippet of where I've come from and how much success I've been able to have. And I'm grateful for that success, right? There are many YouTubers here highly frustrated. What do you mean? How old are you, Matt? I'm 34. Um, they are nasty, jealousy people. They are jealous of you, dear brother. Well, thank you for saying that. I agree with you on that one. You don't need to justify it. You just you do great and have helped a lot of people. I listen, take your advice. Wish I listened to you way earlier and got into Jasmine when you said so. Yeah, I mean, well, one, thank you for saying that. But yeah, there are so many opportunities that are always out there, and when you miss one, you feel like you'll never find an opportunity again, or people won't really steer you towards those opportunities. But when you're in more of a bull market, it's very difficult to find those same opportunities. It's easy to find the opportunities in a bear market. Very difficult to make money in a bear market, but it's very easy to establish a profitable, a majorly profitable investment in the bear market. Good thing right now is we're still seeing altcoins that are at lows, ridiculous lows compared to where they're going to be in altcoin season, right? I still believe that you can look at AVAX and say that that's at a low, LTC and say that that's at a low, and many other positions and go, this is at a low compared to what it is and what it will be, right? Um, so don't think that you have no opportunities out there, because there are many opportunities, right? If I'm looking into the market and I'm saying, what am I looking for? What will have massive potential? Right, you can still say Solana getting up to $250, $500 is a no-brainer. That's going to be worth $500 billion market cap, if not $1 trillion market cap. Solana is a major player in the game and will always be a major player in the game. BNB still has a lot of life in it as well, hundreds of billions of dollars that it's going to be worth. But when you go down here and you look at some other things that haven't necessarily materialized. The gains haven't materialized yet. You look at ADA, it's still at 67 cents. I have ADA at an average of 40 cents or so, or it might be a little bit higher than that. It might even be an average of 67. Let me go back here. Let me take a look. So my Cardano investment, it is up. So my average is 33 cents. Right? I still feel like there's a lot of potential in where this can go. Last altcoin season, it was worth almost $100 billion, and it probably or most likely will be worth more than that. Right? 200. Some people believe 250 to 300 billion dollars for Cardano. So saying that, you have a lot of potential within Cardano to run. For Avalanche or AVAX, it's currently worth $20. This was worth $100+ in the last bull run, or in the last altcoin season at some point, and it's only at an $8.6 billion market cap. That's a lot of potential. XLM, another thing that has a lot of potential, something that follows XRP but also has its own life and is sitting at an $8 billion market cap. You can say HBAR will be worth tens or even $100 billion. So there's many opportunities that are here that are long-standing ones that are worth just single-digit billions, or even you can find some other ones like Kronos. I think that'll be worth a lot. Obviously, when they add all that supply, won't be looking great. You have Aptos. Aptos is at a good place. I feel like that hasn't really experienced the last bull run, but the point is that you have many opportunities here that haven't materialized, that haven't hit their all-time highs, that haven't hit even just general high levels. So don't think that Jasmine Coin was the only thing. Don't think that XRP was the only thing, because there's many others. Get a t-shirt that says, "But you said." It's not bad. F banker coins, buy some real coins, buy some real crypto. What is real crypto? My back of my throat is so itchy right now because of the allergies. I bought the new Samsung Galaxy Edge because I have the flip or the fold, and I like the fold, but the fold is heavy, and I wanted to get the Samsung Galaxy Ultra, right? But I wanted the 200 megapixel camera, and I couldn't get the 200 megapixel camera because the Samsung Galaxy Ultra, in my opinion, is a heavy, heavy phone. I don't like my phones to be that heavy. I want it to be light, just like my wallet. I want it to be light, so that I don't have to carry around something that feels like I have a brick in my pocket. I got the new Samsung Galaxy Edge, and I really like it. It'd be a advertisement here, but I really like it. It has the 200 megapixel camera. It doesn't have all of the different specs as the Ultra, but I don't really need all that. I do most of my editing and things on my tablet or my computers, so why do I really need that that full computing power? So I like it. I like it a lot. I can't wait for my other case though. I don't like this case because it doesn't have MagSafe on it, and I need the other case that has MagSafe. I think iPhones automatically have MagSafe in them, which is cool, but I want the case with the MagSafe. Sorry for the typo. I didn't mean to say oak coin. I meant to say altcoin. I don't know where you were referring to. My throat is so itchy. Meme coins are like herding cats. Can be done, but the loss of sanity might not be worth it. I hear you. That herding cat thing is very difficult. When these cats go in the garage, like I there's no way I can get them out of the garage. So the only way I get them out of the garage is open up a pack of cat treats and then just shake it and get them to come, and then I close the door. Off topic, but those posters you have on the wall behind you are really cool. Thank you for saying that. They're all Marvel posters. So I put up lights above the posters, and I built a theater down here, makeshift theater. Like it's not a crazy theater, but we have the L-shaped couch with the chase on the side. I have a screen that is automated, I guess, that automatically comes down, and I can put back up, and we can watch the regular TV, or you can watch. Oh, there's a cat. There's two cats up there. That's adorable. That's pretty adorable. I need to go take a picture of that. Give me 1 second. Let me go take a picture of it. Um, let's go to my display. Give me a second. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Man, ah, I'm mad at that. They moved. Well, they're still there, but the cord from the projector screen is kind of in the way. So adorable because I put in a cat wall, and my other cat. I know this is completely off topic of cryptocurrency, but I put in a cat wall, and my other cat, her name's Daisy. She's very hefty. Like she weighs 19.2 pounds, and she was supposed to be an 8 pound cat. Don't feed her a lot of food. She just doesn't move a lot. But the point is, um, she, I expected her to use it, like to kind of, bounce up and down and go where she wants to go and get away from the dog and all that stuff. But she didn't. She used it one time, and that's when I put her up there. And then she jumped down. Um, but yeah, I just tried to get it for her. And these cats, these two, Spencer and Olivia, they they use it all the time. But Erica wanted a picture of them on it. And right now, they're both sitting on the same square, and it's pretty adorable. Don't know why they're down here with me. Um, you a comic fan or just a MCU fan? So, I mean, I'm more of an MCU fan. I've been collecting comics recently, but I don't want to over collect because I collect sports cards, all types of sports cards. I got NBA that's here. These are not really worth anything. I got a Kate Cunningham that might be worth something, but I collect all types of sports cards. I have a lot of Caitlin Clark's back here, um, and also um, Pokemon and all of that just as collectibles. But I don't want to have too much things. I don't want to have too many collectibles down here and clutter the whole area. Um, Especially, when you're getting things and you're like, I don't know what it's going to be worth. It could be worth something, but it's not going to be worth anything for the next 10 years. And you have like a bunch of those same things. It's a little bit of a problem. But yeah, I'm more of an MCU fan and collectible fan. Um, but I love the older MCU movies. I haven't seen Thunderbolts at all. I heard that people liked it, but I haven't seen it. Um, I didn't watch one of the one of the series that they just created. I can't remember what it was. It might have been no, it wasn't Daredevil. I don't know what it was, but I haven't watched one of the series as well. Yeah, I'm an MCU fan. I was saying in an earlier text when altcoins really start going up, when will Jasmine start pumping? When do you think VET / Jasmine will fly? When do I think they will fly? So I think the end of this third quarter um, will be big, right? We just started the third quarter today. So I think the third quarter will be big. It will be telling. Um, or did we start the third quarter today? Or it might be the end of this month, right? June. I tend to get things confused. Um, March, the end of March is into April, May, June. So the end of June, we we start the third quarter. So I think the end of this second quarter will be telling to how we kind of finish the year, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. But I do believe that third and fourth quarter will be big, right? 2025 is supposed to be big after we get all the news of what's happening with cryptocurrency, how it's being implemented, the reserves, and all that stuff. We should see cryptocurrency fly during this time. Now, to say like what day and what month it's going to happen, again, I would assume the end of this month will be telling as to what we see for the third and fourth quarter. So the end of this month should be significant towards where we're going and where we will be. I believe that we'll see Jasmine Coin hit way higher levels than what people expect. There were some comments that were saying that Jasmine Coin, see, I told you it would only hit 3 cents, and I was like, were you like gone or like absent during the time that it hit 3 cents and 4 cents and 5 and 6 cents? Were you gone during that time? Did you just not want to see it, so you totally removed it from your brain? I think it's on Disney Plus now, the Thunderbolts. Is it? I don't think so, because it came out like last month. It usually takes 80 days or something. 89 days is the average time period for a movie to get on Disney Plus. I wanted to see it in theaters. It's just, I think I was very, very busy during these times. Will we see sub $2 XRP this week? Will we see it this week? Sub $2 XRP? Boy, I hope not. I don't believe so. It's very close to it, right? But let's see. Let me go into XRP. Let's actually go into BTCC. It's a good platform to do that, right? Because I have an XRP position, and if it goes down to what is it? It's 33.3%. 33.3 is $1.43. My cost basis is $1.22 since I added more at a higher level, right? But do I expect to see XRP at under $2, which is only 16 cents away this week? I don't expect to see that. I feel like we've still seen it. It may bounce off of a level of $2, but I don't expect it to see the that level break through that level. However, it could always happen. Let me go over here. Let me look at XRP's chart, because I know they're closer and actually have broken through the 200 EMA, and there's always a chance that we could see that double bottom before we see a pickup. But the way that it's been moving, it's been kind of resisting off of these levels of the 200 EMA, even though it's broken through at one point. You can see it break through with the body of the candle, breaking through the 200 moving average, and then also breaking through the body of the candle or breaking through the 200 moving average with more than just the body of the candle. We did just experience a golden cross where you have the 200 moving average go over the 50 moving average. That's the opposite of that. We would see the golden cross at a 50 moving average passing over the 200 moving average. So technically, that's more bearish momentum. And once you see that, it does show that we're going to see more and more of a downtick. Now, the low level here to touch these levels would be the $2.03 mark. So saying that it's going to get below that point, the only thing really resisting it at that point is as you get to here at the $1.79, or even the lowest of low, which would be $1.61. This is the whole reason why I took out that trade of it dropping potentially like, a 3x leverage, because I didn't want to go below $1.43, which I still don't believe it's going to break below $2, but there's always a potential chance. This could be a double bottom scenario, right? This double bottom scenario to break out and start to retest some of these higher levels of $2.60, $2.70, $3, $3.20, $3.40, right? Those levels. So, for my short-term plays, if you're looking to get the most out of your long positions, I would say that you don't you don't go into it and hold this for the next day to give you kind of a positive outlook, because it might end up being more bearish and very negative on what you hold. But if it's something that's long term, what does it really matter to hold it through these time periods? For me, in this XRP trade, it's a little bit more risky. For a longer term play, something like my XRP that I'm holding on Coinbase, it's not something that I'm looking at as highly risky, because it doesn't matter if it does come back to $1.46, right, or $1.60. What does matter is if it does come back to $1.60, then I would have added leverage to that at those levels, and it would be at a much higher than a 3x, because I don't believe it's going to break past that point by far, right, or by much, right? So yeah, it's difficult to say, but I do want to see it retest some of these levels, and we may be creating a double bottom, right, a W formation. Sorry for the broken English in my previous comment. It's 11 p.m. here in Cambodia. I tuned in just when you mentioned Zebek. I really didn't mention it at all. I just talked about it for like a brief second because someone mentioned it, but I didn't actually dive into it at all. My advice would be to sell for the short-term gains elsewhere. I mean, that's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I'm not going to hate on anybody's strategy, but that's not something that's my strategy, is to sell my position to buy another position, because this position could break out at any moment, whether we're saying it's going to skyrocket to $1,000 or someone saying it's going to stand still. We could see it move at any moment, and we're not always fully prepared for that to happen. Maybe if I ask about Disney, I would have gotten a response. I don't think so. What's your opinion on the meme coin? Oh, that's what you're asking. I kind of skipped it. What's your opinion on the meme coin super cycle? Uh, and Moran thesis in general? I have no idea what that is. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I don't have an opinion on those things because I haven't ever heard of them, or have looked into them. Well, I guess I was just showing advertisements of Thunderbolts on Disney Plus. Yeah, I think so. Typically, they do that where they're like, "Go see it now." Um, when you use that, then you use that profit for XRP. See, the problem with that is, um, if you have any extra money that you can throw towards meme coins or whatever you want to do, then you do that. But if you take out one investment to go to another, you may miss out on a lot of growth. This is why I will never take my dividend investment portfolio and just take it out and throw it in on XRP or something, because with that, you never know, first of all, how far things are going to run to those levels. Also, the how long it's going to take to even transfer and go through the processes of those. And then you have to find a way to get it back to your dividend portfolio, while not seeing any growth within that portfolio. Most likely, everything's moving without you. Right? Everything's moving without you even knowing it. Things can move 20, 30, 40%. I've invested into something. I've invested into something where I started out at a low level. It was Facebook. It was Meta, but formerly Facebook, right? And when I invested into it, it was Facebook at that time. So Facebook, I can't remember the prices, but I know it got up to about 200 something dollars, but then it was a lot lower. Like ended up continuing to fall down. I only bought longs. I didn't ever short any positions. So I bought it. I was like $200, and I was like, this is going to skyrocket. It's going to move up. We're going to see everything move. We just saw the last day they did that. And then I was like, all right, it's falling. I decided to get out of it as it got down to a lower level. But then as I got out of it, within the next hour, it skyrocketed again back up to those prices. So I would have either broken even, or I would have been able to gain a lot more. During March of 2020, I didn't want to throw anything anything into the markets, but I saw Facebook and I was like, all right, I'm going to buy this at a lower level of $130 or something. I can't remember what it was, or it might have even been less than that. I ended up missing my limit by like $1, and they didn't fill the order. It ended up skyrocketing. You can see what Meta's worth now. I think it's worth like $300 or $400 per share. And yeah, I was a little upset about that as well. But you miss opportunities, right? If you decide to try and time the market on everything. You can time the market on your short-term trades, but don't take your long-term trades and try and time the market because you have more money in your long-term trades. That's how you take your long-term trade money and turn it into less money, by taking on that higher risk. Because you could throw it into a meme coin and that meme coin could absolutely go to zero, and now you have $0 rather than putting that money back into your XRP. I would never do that. I would absolutely never do that. If I wanted to invest $1,000 myself, I would take $1,000 and invest into that meme coin. I would never pull out of my position to do that. All right, my throat is a little bit itchy. I appreciate everybody else for being here. Know that what platform I'm using right now is BTCC. I do want to go through maybe some trades to see what opportunities there are. I feel like AVAX has a good opportunity because of how low AVAX actually is right now. Yes, I understand that AVAX could also pull back even more. We've seen it at lower levels of $15, or seeing a double touch point here at like $19. But maybe I can put through a leverage trade that's like a 10x leverage on this. This is going to be for my 100K portfolio. So maybe I'll do a 10x leverage, and that means that it can't lose anything but 10%, right? Where's my, so it can't lose anything but 10%. So if this position drops by about $2 down to $18, then I lose everything on this play. Now we are still sitting at a point to where we see the 50 moving average a lot lower than 200 EMA, but you are on a little bit of an uptick, and I do expect to see some of these major points be hit. So I'm going to do a 10x leverage for $50 in AVAX. Maybe I should do 100 just to give it a little bit more of a risk. $100, that'll give me a 10x leverage, and I will be able to play that out until about $26 maybe, or potentially get up to the level of $29. That'll be fantastic. Hasn't hit there in a while. It's been literally months before, since that has happened, but I do expect to see some major movement. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, which again, if it loses $2, I can lose that entire 100, which is a risk I'm willing to take at the moment, with how much I'm going to gain in my long-term positions and may be able to make up for it. So I'm going to put through that long position, and I also have to set a stop loss, which would be 10%, which would be $18.46. Now it could definitely get there, but also the opportunity of getting to $26 would give me a $268 gain, or even to the $29 mark, which would be a $415 gain. Now, it's a little bit iffy, and it still is a lower leverage, but it's also only risking $100 compared to what I would be risking at $1,000 there total. So let me go ahead and put that and confirm it, and we will have that go through as well. Now I already have 2 trades in here. I have one for XRP at a 3x leverage and Jasmine Coin at a 2x leverage. These are more of long-term plays that I have, but this is more of a short-term play, as well as looking for an ultra short-term play. I don't know what that will be, but I'm also looking for one as we speak. So anyways, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Thank you guys for watching, for being with me on this last hour and a half. We will have some videos for you later today, and I'll try and be a little bit more consistent. The issue, I'm going on vacation at the end of the week. I'll try and post some things, but I'll probably just do it like on my phone, and it'll be very iffy on what I'm doing. I don't know about the live streams or anything like that. It might just be videos, and it might just be very bare bones videos. So we'll see how that goes. But if you could, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out my link for BTCC today if you guys want to join yourself, have your own 100K challenge, or leverage trade yourself, feel free to do so. Link is down there in the description. It's also in the chat. But again, I'm going to get out of here.